Welcome to another episode of NARC TV. We are at Middlesbrough Contemporary Art Space, Pineapple Black. Who have we got on today?
Coming up, we've got live favourites and border-defying, multilingual, vibrant explosion of sound that are Darlington's Bubamara. Enjoy.
Bubamara means ladybird. It's Romanian.
Lovely.
International. Well, it is. It's the international sign of loveliness. But it takes it also refers to a sort of song popularised by Goran Bregovic from a film Black Cat, White Cat, which sort of portrays some of the struggles in the Balkan regions and the breakup of Yugoslavia. So it also is a nod to that sort of Balkans, European exotica that we like to inflect our music with.
I was going to say, so what sort of cultures inflect your sound? Because you encompass so much in all the music you play. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, you could sort of map it out as a sort of interrail experience of somebody when they were younger. All the major sort of greatest hits. Let me give you a brief little story. We played a gig last night, and there was a young gentleman. He was there with, as he described, his old mam, and she sat there and she enjoyed it. And she said it reminded her instantly of her Greek holidays back in Torremolinos in the 70s. So there you go. It's a sort of map of the holiday destinations of Europe.
I think we kind of the way we create music, it's kind of not strictly traditional kind of say Italian or whatever. It's kind of we've got the license to bring our own things into it, our own sort of style into it, and kind of I think there's a bit of freedom there that I don't know. So really, you get all sorts of stuff coming into music.
We have a rock and roll sensibility that we like to inject for sort of underpin our appropriation of the various styles.
Yeah.
But,
There's an
so
underlying
definitely a bit of rock and roll
Yeah.
creeps in there, and a little bit of even Americana sometimes, although it's kind of not really not too much.
So how do you kind of construct a song then? So do you kind of start with, this is the sort of vibe in terms of style we're going for, and then we're going to, write a kind of Italian folk song, we're going to write a Middle Eastern banger, or, how do you kind of decide what region you're going to kind of have the music come from? And what
that's really, Marcus kind of has some kind of concept or some germ of an idea, and then it kind of just matures however it matures really. It could be, it could go any direction after that.
I'll tell you what it does, it just comes after long hours of listening, and you make a synthetic judgment. Is that a nice tune? What can we do with it? Can we make it darker? What's the thing that we like about that tune, and how do you translate it? So it is a slow process, and it's a synthetic judgment, and ultimately it is the sound that the four of us, including Mr. Haskins and Mr. Ford on bass and drums, bring and make to the sound.
Yeah. And so what are some of your songs about? What kind of things do you write about?
Gosh, that's a tricky one. The lovely thing about folk songs is they're often just lovely sort of lyrics about the casual encounters, the nature, etc. One of the things I think that defines the songs that we do is it's music without anxiety. This is not music to sort of rally some kind of revolution, but it's music to celebrate at the post-revolutionary party. Don't expect us to sit there and emote over the tragedy of our lives. No, there's a joyous celebration that's contained, and you find it in many of those European songs and in the folk traditions.
Yeah.
So yes,
that's what appeals to us, isn't it? Then that's what we're looking for, I guess.
Songs of liberazione.
Fantastic, welcome you better. So in this current climate of post-Brexit Britain, is your music really intended to be a message of hope and fun and excitement and happiness?
Well, for example, we did a collaboration recently with an Italian friend, Nino, and sort of with Brexit and whatever, and COVID, there seems to be kind of like a divide, and barriers seem to have been sort of put in place there, and so you kind of realise how important it is to actually reach out, and that was a really good example of just like a very quick thing that pulled together from.
Well, the constant shifting nature of politics, and not just politics, even sport, constantly reframes the political message of our music. So before Brexit, we were just a band that did great, lovely Mediterranean songs. After Brexit, people would interpret that music as a music of post-Brexit hope for cultural reintegration, etc.